right. What's up, everyone, and welcome to a very special episode of the Work in Progress After Dark podcast. Today, I'm joined by my buddy Casey, my buddy Isaac, and my buddy Jeremiah, and we're here to shoot the shit. It's my birthday celebration podcast. What's going on, everyone?
Celebrating the one and only Whip, Brent himself, who brought us all together. Had me, well, not me and Isaac, obviously, but I met the floating circular, constant that is Casey, and it's pretty great,
Yeah. So how are you guys? I talk to you guys so much, and I feel like asking this question becomes redundant. But how are you guys all doing?
Pretty good. Can't complain, man. It was a weird Saturday, but can't complain otherwise.
It was a weird Saturday.
I walked into my laundry room, and it felt like it was raining, and I'm like, huh. I opened the back door, and I'm like, it's clear skies.
What's rain?
Uh-oh.
Yeah, right? Like, yeah, the water heater sprung a leak. I'm like, look at that. It was very
No. Oh, no. Hey, what's up, Dip Down Games? Thanks for being here.
It only took about an hour to fix, man. Not a big deal. I was like, luckily, it's like it was a pinhole leak. It's either Quest piping.
Put some gum on it, bro.
So Jacob was saying that just throw some glue and some tape on it. I'm like, I'm just gonna replace it.
Nah, dude, just chew some bubble gum, put it on the patch, put it on
Slap
the hole.
it.
If anyone knows that movie reference, you deserve $1.
Oh,
I don't think I
slap some
know
bubble
that
gum on it
on a hole, on a leak. Yep.
See, the only thing I can really think of with bubble gum is Bill and Ted, because they use gum to fix the time machine.
True, but no. It's a movie. It's a movie that's a lot older than that. I'll give you a hint. It involves a rocket.
It involves
a rocket?
Yeah.
Oh, is it? I don't know.
Armageddon?
No. Well, let me rephrase it.
Before Bill and
jetpack. It involves a jetpack.
It involves a jetpack.
I mean, there was a remake.
Is that like maybe like a James Bond movie?
No.
Austin Powers?
No, it was before Bill and Ted.
Right? Oh, well.
Are you talking about Rocket Man?
No, that's a song.
No, Rocket Man was a movie too.
Movie.
Yeah. Okay, no, not that one. No. All right, guys, time's up. The movie is called The Rocketeer.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry. Okay, you know what? I take it back. I actually meant The Rocketeer. I said The Rocket Man.
Of course you do.
Look, it's ifs and buts. Ifs and buts, right?
Actually, here's a very interesting fact about The Rocketeer. They filmed some of it in Santa Maria.
That's where he lives. Yeah.
Oh, really? Oh, so Isaac and I are neighbors, huh?
No, he's talking about you.
Yeah, he was telling Isaac.
Yeah. That's where Casey lives.
No, I live in nowhere near Walmaria. He is definitely.
I'm down south, man.
I don't know where you guys are from. Okay.
You guys are all
and a father love each other, or don't love each other, but decide to do it anyway.
You guys are all in Texas, right?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. Maybe.
Possibly.
Maybe.
Yeah, well, Jeremiah. So Jeremiah's address is that. What was it?
Are we gonna dox some people right now?
Anybody's welcome over. I don't even care. I had a friend last week just literally walk in through my door and slap a brisket down. Like, how Texan could you be? Like,
I want to say something real quick. Because I mentioned The Rocketeer. I kind of miss those movies. The Rocketeer, the Dick Tracy type of movies.
Oh, heck yeah.
Those were fun.
The Shadow.
The Phantom.
Oh, I love the Phantom.
That was a great SNES game back in the day. We would get that all the time.
Dick Tracy was fun. I love Dick Tracy. I had it. My brother's friend from high school, he actually put a whole bunch of emulated games on my 1994 Windows PC. So it was quite phenomenal. Go ahead, my bad.
No.
So everyone knows the real reason we're here. is
pizza,
to watch Brent live stream Red Dead Redemption 2. Now go ahead, buddy. Start it up. Let's get that going.
No.
I'd love to see it.
Not just stream Red Dead Redemption 2, but he's going to do it hard mode, trying to beat it all within the few days without dying and not losing his hat.
Positively, he cannot say one bad thing about it. He has to be like, "Oh man, I just love tuberculosis." You know, like, consumption is awesome.
Oh my god, that was like I was speaking of like I hosted a podcast yesterday with Dip Down Games and Anime who's in the chat right now, and
I saw that.
And
I saw you cheat on me. That was nice. That was nice. It was nice.
Yeah, I'm
like
sorry.
You made new friends. Like, oh wow, he threw up our podcast a day later. Who are these people? That's not Isaac. That's not me. That pussy.
Don't worry. I already fucked with him about that yesterday.
I cheated on Casey too.
How dare you? Casey is a
like
saint.
I happened to bring up the topic of Red Dead Redemption 2, and it pained me. It pained me to bring it up. Like I hate that game with a fiery passion, and I will always hate the game with a fiery passion.
See, if you would just change up your language, we learned that in my field. Just change up your language, and it'll change up your feelings and perspectives of the game. No. So instead of saying I hate the game, I have to finish the game.
And look, in his defense, bro. In his defense, he hates one game that people love. I hate two games that people love.
Let's hear
Last of Us 1 and 2. Those games are utter garbage and overrated.
Okay, let's hear it.
I just told you.
Last of Us 1 and 2.
Yeah, the garbage.
He hates
Last of Us 1 and 2?
The series.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Although I really like The Last of Us 1 and 2, I can see why some people... I can see why some people would dislike it.
So here's the thing with it, right? Here's my issue with it. It's very linear. The story is subpar. The characters are meh.
Okay. All right. Find the door. What was it that you guys were saying to me the other?
Yeah.
The map.
Isaac, well, thank you. If you'll close.
No. Let Isaac finish. Let's let Isaac finish. Let's let Isaac finish.
And there's only 3 variations of missions in that game. Hiding from humans, explore the new location you just got to, and a clicker area.
No, there was also to find bullets.
Oh yeah, I forgot that too.
Okay, there was a tutorial.
And then rinse,
get over yourself.
Repeat.
Check your privilege.
Yeah, then rinse, repeat. So it was very like okay.
See, now you're just kind of like bringing up Kingdom Hearts 3 now because it's all linear and it's all the same thing.
Kingdom Hearts 3 broke my heart. I may have this. Like I have this, but I have it for Woody. All right, because I love Toy Story. The game, dude. I took a nap during the cutscene in that game. Woke up and the cutscene was still going.
Oh, was it the Frozen one?
Is that Kingdom Hearts 2? The start of?
Huh?
I have a love-hate relationship.
We're not talking about Kingdom Hearts 2 and the entire cutscene that was Roxas.
No. That was the tutorial. In Kingdom Hearts 3, there's literally a cutscene, and it's the entire song of Let It Go from Frozen.
They literally have a movie in there, bro.
Yes, it was ridiculous.
I have a love-hate relationship with Kingdom Hearts 3. Like, I hate that I love it, and I love that I hate it.
I hate that there's no Final Fantasy characters.
Well, the director has finally gone on record to say that the series was never supposed to be about Final Fantasy characters, even though that there were Final Fantasy characters about it. But that's Tetsuya Nomura for you. He likes to just, he just likes to come in and just say some crazy shit and do some crazy shit and then dip out. Like that's just what he does. I mean, look at what he's doing to, look at what he's doing to Kingdom Hearts.
I know, because like I've seen the teasers for the next Kingdom Hearts. It's like,
dude, it looks
we went straight from like no Final Fantasy to the teasers of Final Fantasy 15 like 7 years ago, or 8 years ago. Like we're going to what I thought 15 was going to be, and I'm like, okay, that's freaking weird. Like it's not necessarily Final Fantasy characters, but you made them into Final Fantasy characters. It's kind of crap, but yeah. I like the series. I thought it was pretty awesome, and the fact that we can canonically say that Donald Duck is the strongest mage in history is hilarious to me.
Hell yeah.
So,
it was great.
I will say though, out of the Kingdom Hearts games, 2 was my favorite. Like
of course,
I liked
2
1,
is a classic.
2 was everything
I
that I
never
wanted.
finished 2. I couldn't finish 2. And I have started Kingdom Hearts 2 3 times on 3 separate consoles, and each time I get past Roxas and I just wonder what the hell I'm doing with my life. Like, you get to the first town and you meet that the Mickey Mouse's like mentor, the wizard dude, and I'm like, oh cool,
Yen Sid.
I have no want to play anymore. I don't care. I don't care what his name is, Beardy McBeardison, and I don't really care. He doesn't really say anything that's relevant.
So you never even got past the tutorial then, really?
Okay.
I can't. It's like playing 365 over 2 days, or 357, or like
So here's the thing. I got Kingdom Hearts 2. I think a couple weeks after launch, when I was like 15 or 16 years old. And I remember I was like, it was like a weeknight, right? Like, it was a weeknight. I'd come home from getting the game and I was excited to sit down and play it. And like, I only had like a couple of hours to play. And I sat down and here I am playing as Roxas for like 2 or 3 hours, if not more. It's and I was just like, what am I doing right now? And I remember going to bed just super, super pissed off at the fact that like, I was like, who is this Roxas person? Because I guess by that point, what is it? Chain of Memories had introduced Roxas for the first time.
Memories.
And like, I had never played Chain of Memories because I was broke, as a kid. So it's not like I could get every single game on every single console.
All you had to go off of, Brent, not to cut in, but the only thing you had to go off of when you started Kingdom Hearts 2 when we were younger was a really crappy second opening from Utada, Sanctuary. I mean, beautiful song, but I didn't understand crap that was going on. They're running up some random staircase, meet some chick who looks kind of like Kaori. She just goes,
and freezes
and
them.
they fall asleep. It's like, oh, what?
I will say this though. So here's the thing, right? So when Kingdom Hearts first came out, I didn't look at it, right? I saw it and I was like, Disney characters, get out of here, right? I don't care about this. And then it's because of Chain of Memories I played it, and it's not because I've ever played. To this day I've never played Chain of Memories, but their ad. Their trailer, when it had Simple and Clean playing, I was like, yo, that song kind of dope. And that song alone convinced me, like, you know what? Let me just save up a little bit of my birthday money and go to GameStop and pick up Kingdom Hearts. I remember, like, I got it, came home, and I thought to myself, like, am I really gonna play this? Like, really? So I'm like, you know what? Screw it, right? And then, I mean, you've seen it when you start the game. You have Sora talking, and then you have like the remix of Simple and Clean, like the upbeat version playing.
Go ahead and keep talking.
And you're kind of like, oh shit! And then you kind of just pulls you from there. I will say the only thing I didn't like was the Little Mermaid area because that took forever. But Kingdom Hearts 2 though, bro.
I don't like the Little Mermaid area, especially in the second one. I hate that they made it a musical thing.
Wait, what? Oh, the Little Mermaid shit?
Yes.
But the thing about 2 that I love was outside of the mechanics, and then you had the different forms and different summons, and every now and again, Mickey will show up and like revive you,
And you play as him for a little while.
And you play it. Yep. Yeah. But my favorite thing was, before that game came out, my dad was like, hey, I don't care about Disney, right? I was like, yeah, I know you hate Disney. I want to show you this one movie that I do like that's from Disney. And I was like, okay, let's watch it. And it was Tron.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So I'm playing this game, and then out of nowhere, he gets sucked into the world.
Tron's
Tron.
world. Yeah.
And then the thing with Kingdom Hearts, different locations, different outfits. You're a pirate, Pirates of the Caribbean. Actually, Pinocchio, you never really got an outfit, but that's besides the point.
Did you go into Pinocchio's world? I can't remember. Did you go?
Well, in the first one.
In the first one, you went.
In the first one, you're in Monstro.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But yeah, those like the worlds in 2 were legit, especially Mulan's one when you actually have a giant battlefield full of Heartless that you just gotta sort of like survive waves. That was legit.
Oh, seriously.
Here's the thing about Kingdom Hearts 2. Okay, not only is it a great Kingdom Hearts game, but it's actually a really good game. Like, it's actually like a really good game. And I think people often forget that, like, that it's solid. And unfortunately, it's recently been drowned out by the disappointment of Kingdom Hearts 3. And like, as a big fan of Kingdom Hearts, I recognize that Kingdom Hearts 3 is just kind of like, what the hell did I just play? Like, that was weird. Like,
it looks pretty though. It looks beautiful.
It looked beautiful.
It's
it was
beautiful.
great.
Like visually and control wise.
Like, it took way too long to come out. The hype train. I mean, it still picked up a bit, but it took way too long, and it
became Duke Nukem Forever.
It took way too long to come out. And some of the movies that were based off that were in the world, like for example, the Frozen world. The movie itself had not come out when they were developing it, so they didn't even know the storyline of Frozen, which is why the Frozen world is so stupid.
Janky. It's so bad. Oh,
I thought Frozen was already out. Are you sure?
Frozen was out, but when they were making the game, it wasn't. So the game developers only saw the what's kind of like the storyboards, and at that time, Elsa was actually supposed to be the villain in the movie, which is why she was the villain in the game, and why you never hear what's his name talk, the actual villain that's in the movie.
I never watched the movie.
I'm trying to think.
I've seen the movie once. So I broke a controller in the Frozen world. I was so pissed. I was so pissed off with the boss in the Frozen world that I like threw my controller on the ground, and it actually smacked against a hard surface, and it left a crack in my controller.
Dude,
I was pretty pissed off.
There was one moment in Frozen though that I appreciated because Sora legit said what I said as soon as I said it. You know how he keeps getting knocked off the mountain?
No, yeah.
And then like the third time, I'm like, oh my god, are you serious? And he basically said the equivalence to that. I'm like, what are we doing here? Is this map so tiny? I gotta keep doing it over.
It's because they literally had to change the level before they released it. That's why. If you actually pay attention, you can see like the very bare bones of what the level was supposed to be. Like you were supposed to be able to actually travel throughout the Ice Palace and have different levels in the Ice Palace. But because they had to change the storyline since, the movie changed, that's why they're just like, okay, well, we'll just continuously blow them down the mountain. It's like, why? It's so
Another gripe that I had, and not only just with Frozen stage, I felt a lot of this worlds were very underwhelming.
So here's the thing. My issue, and I think that this is adding on to like the aspect of the worlds being underwhelming, is that literally next to nothing happened in almost all of them. Yeah. As much as I loved like the Big Hero 6 world, it was just kind of like, what is going on here?
Dude, the Toy Story world was a disappointment to me.
The Toy Story world, like honestly, the only world that I think was really cool that stood out was the Pirates of the Caribbean world. That was the only.
Because you get to fight on the ships.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but that was the showcase in the trailer too, or the gameplay trailer was that like it showcased a lot of Pirates of the Caribbean because it looked cool. And yeah, I mean.
My big issue with Kingdom Hearts 3 was the fact that zero story happened throughout the entire game. Nothing. It was just Sora going around getting his powers again, and I'm like, this is weird. And like, and then like no story happened. I'm like, this is the final part of like this overarching story that's lasted for like almost 20 years. And like, here we are. We're trying to finish this story up, and like nothing is happening. And then all of the story is crammed in the last 4 hours of the game. And it's just like, maybe even less, 3 hours. I will say this though. That I played the DLC. I played the DLC for it. And it redeemed it to some extent. It helped clean some things up, but
I did hear that the DLC was pretty good.
The DLC was fire.
My thing is, I didn't get the DLC because I'm so hurt. So I had just gotten a job, right? and I'm a big Kingdom Hearts fan. And I just got a job, and I got my first paycheck, and I was like, you know what? Kingdom Hearts 3 is out for pre-order. Let me go pre-order the deluxe edition. You know, like I'm super hyped. So I think I dropped like 80. I think I dropped like 80 or 100 on it. You remember when I called you, Juicy?
Oh, I think I have that. I think is it this one?
I got it up there. It's up there. It came with the little pin. And after I played the game,
he just throws it.
And it's his podcast.
Is this one?
Yes.
Yeah. So I bought that.
It was 89.
And then I beat the game, and I was just like, huh. Because another thing that I noticed was so here's the thing, right? So I mentioned this back with Resident Evil 2 when I played the remake, and it's a mechanic that older games take to extend the length of a game.
Sure.
A lot of backtracking, right? But if it's done right, it's no issue. Kingdom Hearts 1, there's backtracking. You're like, hey, we know you're over here at Latin, but there's some stuff going on over there at Olympus. So, you know, all right, let me head over there. You know, you have that going on. Kingdom Hearts 2, same thing. You know, you leave the world, hold up, something's going on over here. Oh, well, let me go check it out. This one, hey, thanks for stopping by. Have a good one.
Peace.
Bye.
Yeah.
Never to go back. No reason to go back. No secret bosses in any of those stages. It was just, hey.
I went back to collect all because I was like, I'm getting the ultimate weapon. And so I went back to get all the weird collectibles that I had to get, and that was about it. That was the only reason for me to go back to any of those worlds was to get the collectibles.
I'm hurt. So I said the only good thing about Kingdom Hearts 3 was that I got this right here to go with my guy right there.
There you go.
Like I said, I couldn't finish it. Every time all of my love for the game got sucked out of it to the point I'm literally right now on the Xbox right there, and I'm just like, cool, yeah, I could start the story, I guess. And yet I play Smite. I'll be right back, so.
No, it is a painful game to think about, really, and I would really like to go. Honestly, it is kind of like this sort of, I guess probably the best way to put it would be like a pipe dream to go back and play through all of the games, but that's like an epically long time investment.
Oh yeah, you would definitely need to just stream that and have a week off in order to be able to do it.
It's there's so many games now. There's too many games. It's just a lot. And there's a lot to keep track of, and it's they were obviously making it up as they go. Hopefully I'm really hoping honestly Kingdom Hearts 4 looks freaking awesome, but I did say that about Kingdom Hearts 3. But am I going to play?
And how it plays are two different things, though.
Sure.
There's no problem in respecting the fact that Kingdom Hearts 3 looks stout. Even I was like,
sure,
man, I might go back. But I mean, as far as 4 and stuff and how it's yeah, looks pretty good. Whatever the gameplay is,
and I think what they have there is just a simple showcase of what the game will look like. However, it's expected to look a lot better because they are going to move it over to Unreal 5.
Unreal 5.
Is that that is the next one that's coming out, right? Unreal 5.
Unreal 5.
Yeah. And Unreal 5 looks so good. Unreal 5 looks.
Glad I got my Series X coming. That's gonna make me feel good.
Your what coming?
Series X. We finally. My wife got the gaming laptop, and she was like, "You're getting that Series X because we're all about if I'm getting something, you're getting something." It's okay, I guess.
Nice.
So that's it should be in Tuesday, so I'm taking off. I'm like, might as well.
I'm honestly thinking about getting ready to queue up to buy a second PlayStation 5. Just in case something happens with the one that I currently have. since something has already happened to the one that I currently have.
So yeah, Pong has a better storyline than Last of Us.
Wait, what?
Pong has a better storyline, and it's more action, and controls are way better.
No, it's okay. I'm not gonna like. Here's the thing: like, I get so much crap for hating on Red Dead Redemption 2 that like the last thing I want to do is give crap to someone who has a different opinion than myself, because I don't like receiving crap.
There's a difference. There's a difference. You sir have an opinion. Mine is scientifically proven.
That Red Dead Redemption 2 is that Red Dead that The Last of Us 1 and 2 are really bad games.
Yes. Mm-hmm. It was proven by Harvard.
They made a lot of money, so
that sounds. I don't know. It still sounds pretty subjective what you're saying.
Nah. And for you religious people out there, it's in the Bible.
It's like with Red Dead Redemption 2, it's just like I remember like that. God, that intro was just painstakingly boring, and you're stuck in it for like 3 hours. It's just like and you're surrounded by just these asshole characters. They're all just horrible.
Man,
people.
This is sounding like Kingdom Hearts 2.
Right?
And then like you get out of it.
Popsicles and fuck all to everybody.
No, all in all, just in all seriousness, the reason I didn't like it is because a friend of mine, he got a PS3 when it came out. He got The Last of Us. I never owned a PlayStation console. I had a PS1. And my brother had a PS2 that he'll let me use.
Sure.
But I never had a PlayStation, right? So when he had the PS3, he was like, bro, you got to play The Last of Us. It's so amazing. It's scary. And he's like, I know you love scary games. This game is terrifying. The controls are phenomenal. The story was gut-wrenching. And I had that whole thing in this head from when he played it on the PS3 up until I got the PS4 when I had the remaster, which I played it, I think it was like last year or 2 years ago.
Okay.
So I had that same thing in my head. So maybe it's not fair because from then to there, I had played a plethora of horror games and whatnot. So going into it, I was like, it's not scary.
It didn't quite fit your expectation. Honestly, I respect that. Like, I totally understand.
Yeah.
Like I get that.
Maybe I was late to the party. Maybe because games evolved since then.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No.
Yeah. So maybe had I played it then, I'd be like, yeah, you know what, it's a pretty good game. But I played. I mean, I think Dead Space came out before that, right? I want to say Dead Space was out before that.
No, Dead Space
was out before Last
of Us.
Dead Space was
out long before that.
Right. Yeah.
Dead Space was it was
so
like
I played
360 area.
Yes. So I played Dead Space and I played Dead Space 2. And Dead Space 2 for me at that time was like, yo, this game is legit. Has some good scares to it. And it does help that the main character is named after me, you know? He's named after me. So that helped.
That's exactly what the creators of the game did, Isaac. They found out some guy in Texas named Isaac was born, and it was like, you know what?
But the game, but the one comparison that left out that actually killed that game was, if anyone knows me, and if you guys don't know, our dealer chat, you can check us out.
Yep.
My favorite game, horror game, possibly top 3. Actually, my number 2 favorite game of all time. Only Mega Man X. I like Mega Man X more, but my number 2 game of all time is Resident Evil 4.
Dude.
And when he said The Last of Us is on par or better than Resident Evil 4, that was okay, let's go double down. And
that is
garbage.
This
game is garbage.
That is a gross, arrogant comment ever. Like, honestly, like Resident Evil 4, whether or not you consider it scary, whether or not you consider the game to completely change up which it did ultimately change up how
game was terrifying.
Resident Evil 4 was fantastic. Like it revolutionized certain areas of gameplay and like character development and story that like to say that some like no, like that is a ridiculous statement. Here's the thing, okay, and I've talked about this with you guys. As much as I like The Last of Us, it does not enter my top games of all time. Okay, and my top games of all time are, and I think I've mentioned this, are Resident Evil 4, Mass Effect 2, and God of War 2018. And like The Last of Us, nor does The Last of Us Part 2 come close to any of those games. Okay, like no. Resident Evil 4, I've played that game anywhere between 20 and 30 times, and I know the game like the back of my hand. Nothing can beat it, in my opinion. Nothing can beat Resident Evil 4.
Yeah, man.
And Red Dead
honestly,
Redemption 2 did really well in 2020, though. Just think about that. Red Dead Redemption 2.
So, look, I don't have an opinion on that because I've never played a Red Dead game, and the thing is, I do want to play it, but the fact that Red Dead 1 isn't on PC and I got to get it on 360 or PS3, it's kind of like I'm just like, why?
I wonder if they'll ever put it onto I wonder if they'll ever put it on Games Pass or like through the PlayStation.
I hope so. I do want to.
I hate to burst everyone's bubble here, but it seems that Resident Evil 4 only sold 11.4 million copies, whereas Red Dead Redemption 2 sold 44 million copies. The young buck who does 4 times as much. That sucks, guys. Sorry.
I hate you so much right now.
I'm not hating on
you so much right now.
The thing is, I'm not hating on Red Dead because the thing is, Trayvon, the guy, like my buddy, he actually convinced me to get Red Dead Online, even though it's a dead game. He was like, "You're buy brand new, so you can just play and get to the point where everyone's at and be depressed." And I was like, "Okay." I mean, it's on sale for $10, and dude, I loved every minute of it. I mean,
okay. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, and I loved it because I made sure. I'm gonna say this without saying it. I made sure everything in that game was historically accurate.
Which game was this again? What was it?
Red Dead Online.
Red Dead Online.
Dude, Red Dead Online and the Red Dead Redemption 1 was so much fun. Holy crap. That was some fun stuff.
Until people got stupid online.
So Isaac, I got a question for you. I do eventually want to talk about summer anime, and we'll get there. We've got time tonight.
Wait, time out before you say anything else. Where'd you get that Charmander cup?
So I got it. So I'm almost certain that this girl that I was madly in love with stole it from the Target that we worked at for my birthday. It's like she gave it to me as a birthday present. I don't know, like
so. What
or
you're
7.
saying is you're no longer madly in love with her, and that cup gives you bad memories, and you want to send it over my way.
I'm also hearing that you could turn her into Crime Stoppers for $1,000 towards an anonymous tip.
True.
Like some chick stole this cup from Target
6 years ago.
Anyways, I'm sorry.
But yeah, I'm pretty sure it came in a set. It came with a Pikachu, a Charmander, a Bulbasaur, and a Squirtle.
A Charmander?
Charmander, blah 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 blah.
I was gonna ask what you're drinking. I think I know now. Like
so I'm drinking the worst American beer ever. And that is PBR. He guessed it. Yeah.
I don't guess, baby. Come on.
So anyways, I'm sorry. What's this question that you want to ask?
Okay, so you're a big fan of Resident Evil 4. Okay, Resident Evil 4 is my number 1 game. It's your number 2, so we're on the same level here. Okay,
yes.
I, as someone who loves Resident Evil 4, I personally believe that it is still too soon for a remake of Resident Evil 4. I wholeheartedly believe that Code Veronica should have come first and that Resident Evil 4 could have come a few years later. What are your thoughts on the idea of a remake of Resident Evil 4?
Well, first I want to say you're wrong. Secondly, okay, no, so
have you ever played Code Veronica?
I've seen people play. I've never myself played it because during that time, during like 2010-ish, when I had a little bit of funding, those games weren't cheap.
No.
So
No.
my brother, he played them all, and he agrees with you. He's like, dude, there needs to be a remake of Code Veronica. Here's my thing, though, right? Here's my thing. I am a straight male, but Leon can have me. So
hey, you know what? I respect that. All right, like no, it's okay. It's all right.
So is it too early? Yeah, maybe. Am I gonna say that? No. What?
But who
game?
Who could put a time limit on true love, right? Like, who can put a time limit on love? Like,
so here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. Could I mean, honestly, with the way the RE engine is right now,
beautiful engine.
There's no reason to wait. Like, you have the perfect engine, and
you have one of the best games ever made.
And the best Resident Evil character, in my opinion, the hero. And then
plus Resident Evil is hyped up right now because of the other remakes and 7 and 8.
Yeah. But I will say this. If they let's say if they wanted to wait, they did a terrible job at doing that by making Village, for the fact that Village is literally a prototype of RE4. Like, Village is like, look guys, look what RE4 could look like on the RE engine.
Sure.
Literally, you have the village and then into a castle. How much more RE4 can you get? Okay, so them doing that is like fondling. They're fondling me at that point. Because the thing is with 7 was different, original enough to where I'm like, okay, let's see what 8 is. Okay, let's see what 9 is, 10, whatever. I'm not thinking of remakes, right? For me, RE4 remastered is fine. Like to me, that game is RE4 doesn't need to be touched up at all. It plays flawlessly even to now. I know for most people they don't like the over the shoulder. You got to stand to shoot. You can't just run and gun. But for me, I actually personally prefer it that way. Because you got to play more strategic with it.
Sure.
But yeah, no, dude, no. Once they made 8, if they didn't announce a RE4 remake, I think there would have been riots. Well, Village is too similar to RE4.
Don't get me wrong. I'm buying the Resident Evil 4 remake at launch. I just think that I still stand by that. I think that Code Veronica should have come first. Because it's
what if this is set up for Code Veronica? They're going to get Code Veronica doesn't sound like it has the hype train like RE4 does.
It doesn't. It doesn't.
And if that's the case, then you need RE4 to do well. So when you go Code Veronica remake, it's like they've been doing so well. They're hitting banger after banger after banger. I mean, Isaac would even play Code Veronica after that.
And another thing too.
Especially if it teased an RE4-2, a continuation.
But you know what's the best RE game of all time, though? That's better than 4?
5.
Red Dead Redemption 2.
6, baby. 6. Nah.
Okay. I like Red Dead. He said it. Clip it. I like Resident Evil 6.
It's all in Max, guys. It was all in Max.
I like Resident Evil 6. I'm one of the very few people on the planet that likes Resident Evil 6.
It's a fun game.
It's got a charm.
Huh? Yeah, it's a fun game. It's just terrible, but it's so terrible it's fun. Like you can't play by yourself. You need someone to play with.
Oh yeah,
that's the game with Wesker, right? Like that's the game that was all bright
with Jake
stuff, right?
It's with Jake. It's with Jake Wesker. But honestly, Jake's portion of the game is my favorite part of the game. I felt like,
I love Leon's because his portion was the only portion that had zombies in it.
Yeah, but I felt like Jake and what was it? What's her name? Was it Ashley? No, it was
What are you talking about?
Jake and Birkin. Oh God, what's her name?
Rachel?
No, it was
Becca.
She's in Red Dead. She's in
She's in Red Dead Redemption.
She's in Resident Evil. She's in Resident Evil 2. What was her name? Something Birkin.
Jill?
Sherry
Birkin. I felt like Sherry and Jake had incredible chemistry. Like they're just the two of them interacting with each other was so good. No, don't get me wrong. Leon's portion of the game was definitely that sort of homage to OG Resident Evil, but like there was something really special about the Jake and Sherry stuff, in my opinion, and it's my favorite. And I think that Resident Evil 6 gets way too much hate than it actually deserves. It is not the best game on the planet, but it's certainly not the worst. And I also don't think that it's the worst Resident Evil game. I think the worst Resident Evil game is Resident Evil 7. I did not like Resident Evil 7.
You did not like Resident Evil 7?
No, Resident Evil 7 was annoying. Whoever that main character is, I wanted to blow my brains out. He was annoying.
Oh, hey, now that's a dicey subject. Don't be talking that way, Brent.
Them is fighting words. So you did not like
Isaac looks like he's got something to say.
Go ahead, Isaac. You guys are more into Red Dead or into Resident Evil than I am.
You're welcome. You gotta change the name of this whenever you put on YouTube. Brent admits that he loves RDR too. Like he can't get off his mind.
So for Resident Evil 6, the hate that it got, it did deserve that hate. It did. It didn't get enough hate, if anything. That being said, I will still say, you guys bored? You want to play a co-op game that makes 0 sense, but yet has a couple funny, quirky moments? Well, if RE6 is for $5, go for it. Any more? Don't do it.
I think Resident Evil 6 is better than Resident Evil 5. Yeah.
You don't punch boulders in 6.
That was funny. Hey, actually, did you catch it? Did you catch that bit in Resident Evil 8
where punching boulder?
Yeah, that was such a great like little Easter egg when that guy was like, "You boulder punching freak" or whatever he says. That was hilarious.
So in regards to Ethan, I've heard people say they don't like Ethan. They're like, who is this bum? Like Ethan doesn't make sense because he's not, because with Resident Evil games you're playing with at least people that were trained in firearms and survival, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, and then Ethan's that one individual that could be any of us.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
And then so some people are just like, there's nothing special about him. There's nothing about him that sticks out. And for me, I'm like, I feel like that's what makes him special. Like he's not. I mean, granted, 8 kind of explains he is special, but throughout 7, because he can staple his hand back on. Exactly, right? But the thing is, what I like about that is, let's say he knew that in 7. Let's say he knew he was mold. You wouldn't get the same creeped out reactions that he feels as if he were still a mere mortal, shall I say? Mm-hmm. So, like, there's like little moments where, for instance, when you're walking or crawling through the walls and there's bugs, he's like, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck. Like he's literally thinking what most people would be thinking, and I don't. But like in regards to him, like using weapons and all that. In 7, it's not like he's a professional using a handgun. Or I feel like that's the reason why the aim is so weird. Like you have to hold it still for a second to get that precision shot. So for me, that's what made the game more scary, because you're playing a normal guy that's not tactically trained, to where if he gets grabbed, I mean, there's no grabbing in the game really, but and most already get, like, if you get grabbed, you see him stick a knife out or push him or do stuff like that, right? But you don't see him do that because he's not trained to do that. So if anything, you're in a more vulnerable state, and that adds to the game for me personally.
I honestly feel like they could have. I personally think that they could have. The thing is, like, I guess Okay. There are two, when it comes to Resident Evil, there are two different types of fan bases. There's the fan base that is all about survival horror, and then there's the fan base that's all about the characters in the story. Okay. I am from the ballpark of the characters and story. Okay. I've spent 20 years of my life in this story with these characters that I've grown to love over 20 years. Okay. And then they introduce this random new guy in this new place, and I know that there's hints, I know that there's Easter eggs that play into what happened in 1 through 6. I get that, but it was still because those characters did not exist in Resident Evil 7. It did not feel like a Resident Evil game. So here's the thing: Resident Evil 7 is a great game, but it to me it is not a good Resident Evil game. Simply because it does not have those characters that I have spent 20 years growing to love. So I guess it is a subjective thing. It is definitely a subjective thing for me when it comes to Resident Evil 7.
Yeah, I mean, I guess for me, I don't. Because here's the thing with Jacob, right? Because I think Jacob finally played through 7. I can't remember. So I told you Jacob played through. He played almost every Resident Evil game he could get his hands on.
Sure. Okay.
Right. Like, so he Code Veronica, the ones that were on the Wii. You know, like he played those games. And I remember he asked me, he was like, "How is 7?" And I was like, "Oh," because he asked what the enemies were. And I was like, "Oh, they're these like humified mold creatures,
sludge monster thingies." Yeah.
And he's like, "And what else?" Like, that's pretty much it. You know, there's different variations, but that's pretty much it. He's like, "So there's no zombies? That's disappointing." And I thought about it, and I was like, "Huh." So you don't like? So you think it's disappointing because they're not zombies? He was like, "Yeah, you know, Resident Evil game's a zombie game."
Well, technically, Resident Evil 5 and 4 aren't zombies either.
Exactly. I was like, you know, Resident Evil had zombies in them, but it was never really the zombies themselves. It was the virus in the game. Because every game, in a sense, had their own variation of a virus or a parasite.
Mm-hmm.
So when it comes to like what does a Resident Evil game need to consider it a Resident Evil game, I guess I'm pretty. My list is pretty simple. You know, like it has to have for me a nice amount of puzzles. Even though 7 and 8, those puzzles were easy. 8, you could tell they tried dabbling into how it used to be, but yeah, still thinking of the new gamers that never played it. So they're still a little underwhelming. But just, you know, it's a little survival aspect to it, but because. So, have you played the Evil Within?
I haven't played Evil Within. No.
Okay. So,
yes, I have.
Okay, so you know how in that game, or the first part, I should say, like the second part, it kind of switches gears, but the first part, it's a legit survival horror, right? Like,
Yeah.
You have to sneak around enemies. You can't just go guns a-blazing. For me, Resident Evil, it's an arcade game. I see it as an arcadey game.
Okay. House of the Dead?
No,
he's talking about Resident Evil.
Resident Evil. But yeah. But I'm saying, like, so for me, like, killing an enemy and bullets spawning out of their body, like, if it has that, okay, that makes it. I don't question it. A random barrel just laying there, a random box just sitting there. Yeah, I'm just gonna break it. Oh, how convenient! There's ammo.
There's money.
There's money, right? There's money. Oh wait, these random items unlock these things that I just, you know, boost my stats or whatever. Like, it has those elements to where, for me, if it has that, I'm like, okay, it's a Resident Evil game. You know, there's monsters, there's some horror aspects. You have the upgradable weapons that you can get. And yeah, that for me, like that makes a Resident Evil game, not so much the monster types or whatever.
I'm gonna have to agree. I mean, if I think about it, Resident Evil is kind of an arcade because it is mostly you're using a gun, whereas in The Evil Within, yeah, you can actually go through that entire game, sneaking up on enemies and taking them out from behind without even being noticed. Which you can't really do that in Resident Evil games.
Resident Evil games are like, no, you got to kill these guys to proceed.
Pretty much.
But yeah. No, I will say this. Evil Within 2, very underrated game. Way better than the first one. And that legit is a horror game.
It really is. Oh, hearing one of the enemies, because there is one enemy you cannot kill in that game. Period. And when it comes around, all you hear is just like this little girl singing in the background.
Mm-hmm. That's chick, the little ghost
terrifying.
Chick.
Okay, so I don't mean to interrupt, but we had someone in the chat post a question, and this will segue into our anime conversation. So I don't mean to interrupt. Actually, before I answer this question, your final thoughts on Resident Evil and Evil Within, and then I will answer this question and thoughts. I don't mean to interrupt, but I do want to give you
final thoughts. If you want to play a horror challenging game, you gotta play the Evil Within 1 and 2.
Agreed.
And, one has some quirkiness to it, and even the creator. Because the thing is, the creator, if I recall, Casey, correct me if I'm wrong here. The reason I bought that game is because it's the same director that made 4.
I don't know. Is that Shinji Mikami?
I believe so. I could be wrong, but it has some elements in there.
Joke boys, let's know.
Let's see here.
It is. It is Shinji Mikami. Yeah, so, it's the same guy. Yeah.
So that's why I played it.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
And then the second half of that game, it got a little action packed, and he actually commented on that. He was like, "Yeah, I know, my bad. I'll fix it." And the second one, dude, is literally you're on the edge of your seat the whole game because you don't get a whole bunch of ammo and this and that. Like, yeah. So
the best way to go through it is to do it in secret and try to come up on enemies from behind.
Mm-hmm.
Those fucking dogs, bro.
Okay,
they use all your ammo.
Let's segue into our anime discussion because I do want to talk about anime and some summer anime. Okay, so chat has a question. Jessica asks, do you think anime is more popular than American cable TV? What are your thoughts on it? Isaac, take it away.
What's cable TV?
There you go.
Exactly, right? Exactly. What is cable TV these days?
Dude, look, here's the deal, right? Anime has been around for a while, but the thing is, it is more popular than American cable TV because first off, everything on American cable TV you can stream. It's on a streaming network.
Well, so is anime.
No, that's what I'm getting to.
Okay.
With all these streaming networks coming out, you have Crunchyroll, Funimation, and I'm sure there's other anime streaming services out there. It's cable TV as a whole, whether it's anime or not, is going downhill. But but anime, yeah. I mean, I'm not trying to go too far from this, but technically,
you've got a point there.
Bigger
Isaac,
than cable service.
The whole thing is cable. Cable only really had the premise, it ran it for the longest time because that was the only place to get the shows.
Right.
Because people really knew to get it legally, and let's be fair, even in the early 2000s, a lot of people didn't really understand.
I'll let you guys discuss. I'll be right back.
How to get like the shows and stuff cable wise and stuff like that. I think a good way to kind of show it that anime is just bigger than that nowadays, in my opinion, is look at the revival of Toonami. Now, I brought it up before. Toonami revived itself in 2012 2012 after an April Fool's. After an hey, Wheezy want to be a part of it. One little weird time. So, but Toonami revived itself after an April Fool's joke, where they showed like an old Toonami special, and then people jumped on the hype train.
They showed The Room. That's always the April Fool's joke for Toonami, is they show The Room, which is a really bad movie by Tommy Wiseau.
That is a masterpiece.
I'm saying that like beforehand with Toonami, like it was gone. It had been taken down. It had been canceled. And in 2012, it was Saturday. It was for April Fools. Suddenly, Toonami started. It's like, wait, what? I mean, it's not on any of the programs. Oh, I know. It's not on any of the programs. It showed Trigun. It showed like Dragon Ball Z, Inuyasha, like all this stuff that you're used to watching. I think it showed Outlaw Star. It showed all these old shows that we remember, and it was hype. We were like, no freaking way. And we started looking at it. Is that something coming back? We saw nothing about it. Next Saturday, nothing comes up. Everybody demands for it, and by the next month, they restarted Toonami. The problem with Toonami now versus then is the same issue I feel that cable has now versus any type of streaming service, not just anime. Because it's not exclusive, like Isaac was saying, it's not going. Anime is way bigger. Like the streaming of anime is going to be way bigger than cable. Cable does not have anything that is exclusive to cable anymore.
No,
and
it's not even just exclusive. Not even just exclusive. There's no on demand. Like convenient. Like it'll be different if I could go to Cartoon Network and be like, I want to watch Toonami. Oh, here's a spot right there. Click it. Toonami. Let me watch everything that's on Toonami. But you can't do that on cable TV. And the thing
it's not cable anymore. That is literally a streaming service. That literally
Okay, because here's one thing I want to say, right? If for those people that want to feel that Toonami vibe, that nostalgic vibe, HBO Max, baby.
Yeah.
Because they literally have it, and I mean, I canceled my Netflix subscription just because I have HBO Max and Crunchyroll. What do I need Netflix for?
There's one thing that Toonami is doing right now. You
need Netflix for Comey can't communicate.
Well, so the only thing Toonami's making right now, which I'm glad they went back to doing, is the Toonami music video shorts and the inspirational shorts. How they used to always like have these awesome, before AMVs were really big, but AMVs of the animes you're watching. They would touch on touchy subjects. They touched on bullying recently. They touched on broken promises, failure. Feeling like you haven't achieved what you thought you would in life, feelings of loneliness. And I was like, man, I remember that back in the day. But literally, that's it. And Toonami could literally, like you said, Isaac, make its own little like Cartoon Network, pull off Toonami, and then just make their own videos that would get millions of views. You know
what Toonami could do, bro? Like no lie, is just say fuck it, fuck cable. Let's make a YouTube channel and post our shorts of our AMVs. Do this, do that, and we're good.
So here's something that I read about Toonami and Adult Swim in general, is that it's all going to get moved to HBO Max and it's going to shut down on Cartoon Network.
Oh, I mean, it's convenient.
That is the rumor that I've heard. Yeah, I mean, it absolutely is convenient. And like, I did a video on this, like, I don't know, 6 months ago, about like, is cable TV dying? You can find it on my YouTube channel. And like, I talk about this, and I talk about Toonami jail, okay, and how people were pissed off about, and I was, the thing is, like, I was going through my SAO phase during this time, and I couldn't watch Alicization because it was, I couldn't watch part 2. I couldn't watch War of the Underworld on anywhere because it was stuck in Toonami jail up until about, I don't know, 6 or 8 weeks ago. And like,
I mean, you could have watched it, just not as legal as you would have wanted to. So
I watched. Trust me, I watched it.
That Charmander Cup.
I watched it. Don't worry. Like, I found a way to watch it. But like, it's just like people get frustrated over like stuff being locked into cable TV because a lot of people just don't have cable TV. I haven't had cable TV in like over a decade.
No,
okay, like
people over to streaming services. Why sit there and wait?
Time.
Yeah, why sit there and wait for your show to come on when you can literally just go on to Netflix, Hulu, HBO, and just
because not all streaming services are like that. Because with Disney Plus, they have their weekly releases. Paramount Plus has their weekly releases.
Netflix does it too.
That's the
Netflix
difference.
is getting
Netflix
into it.
They're getting Netflix is getting to the point where they're gonna start showing ads for the low tiers.
Oh,
that's how desperate they are. That's how desperate they are right now. They want Netflix to buy them.
But
Netflix is on some thin ice.
They're becoming a blockbuster. They became the one thing they destroyed.
No, right?
What I was stating, what I'm stating
became the very thing you swore
what is it like?
Never be.
What is it? You lived long enough to see yourself become a villain.
Yeah,
you either die the hero or you live long enough to see yourself be the villain.
And it's what's happening to them.
Yeah,
but
it's beautiful.
But dude, honestly,
poetic.
Like I don't
Here, let's see what let's let Isaac talk. Go ahead.
I was saying this isn't too far off topic, but I just want to say, if anyone is thinking about streaming services, these are my recommendations: HBO Plus, Disney Plus. If your favorite series is on, outside of that, cancel it. And Crunchyroll.
Alexander Hamilton. No, Disney Plus for Alexander Hamilton. Beautiful musical.
I'm just a huge Disney fan, so that's why I have it. But kind of going off what I was saying, Isaac, is not necessarily waiting for the show, like for the day for it to come out. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is waiting for the time. Like, sometimes they come on at like 5:30 p.m. or 6 o'clock p.m.
And if you miss it, you miss it.
Exactly. Whereas streaming, once it's available, you can watch it whenever. That's what I'm saying.
Do you know how? I built a routine recently where whenever I get done gaming and I'm getting ready for bed, I go on HBO Max on my phone. I put on Courage the Cowardly Dog. And I go to sleep happily.
There you go.
Hey.
So we're on the topic of anime, and Isaac, I hope that you can come away from this with some interesting recommendations. But we're going to talk a little. Huh?
Hentai recommendations?
Oh boy.
Jobless reincarnation. What? I love watching Jeremiah just kind of like freak out a little bit whenever I bring that up. Because here's the thing.
Happy birthday, Whip. Close the door on your way out of the stream. Tasty, rule. You now are running it. So. When I got off stream yesterday, I don't know if Dip Down Games and Anime is still in the chat, but like after I got off stream with them yesterday, I told them about Jobless Reincarnation and how I told them what it was about, and I told them that I was going to go to hell for watching it.
Yeah, pretty much.
But okay, so we're going to talk a little summer anime, and hopefully Isaac can come away from this with some interesting new things to watch. So
I don't need you. I have Crunchyroll.
I don't
literally plastering me with recommendations.
Tsunami plays
maybe
every
this
Saturday
will
night.
give you some new recommendations.
No, Crunchyroll has not let me down yet.
No. Hold on.
Hey,
Crunchyroll should have brought this to you. Lucifer and the Biscuit Hammer, baby.
Dude,
it's
yes.
time to start. If you have not started watching Lucifer and the Biscuit Hammer, Ice, first off, you don't even love me. Every time you call me sweet, speaking sweet nothings in my ear, you meant nothing to me. If you don't even try out what I love, go watch Lucifer.
All right. So go ahead.
Yes.
Give me some recommendations, man. Okay, so
Okay, so thanks to Jeremiah, he's like, hey, it looks like the Lucifer and Biscuit Hammer is finally getting an anime, and it's on Crunchyroll.
I blew everyone's chat up. I was like, just so you know, I'm about to like Paul Revere this shit.
And he's like, check this out. So I went and watched the anime, and
what
first of all,
hell is this?
Dude, it's so funny. And like I watched the first episode, and I'm like, what the, and like it was so the lizard. So the sub for the lizard, baby? The sub for the lizard is like he sounds like a curmudgeon-y, angry old man who's just over it, and like
But I don't even want to be here, kid. You don't want to be here. I don't want to be here.
But
we're doing stupid shit.
So when I watched the dub for it, I was taken a little aback here, because like I was so used to hearing this curmudgeon-y, angry old man. But I can see where you're coming from when you talked about, you thought it was more of like a regal person.
Yeah,
I'm approaching it from that perspective when I continue to watch it and watch the dub. I'm gonna continue to watch the sub, and I'm gonna view them as two separate entities. So I think that will allow me to enjoy the dub version of the Lizard.
Is the dub already out?
The first episode of the dub is out. Hey, what's up, Mikey?
Right.
Thanks for stopping by.
Sorry, I wasn't listening to you guys. I was watching the trailer.
Cool.
Yeah. So what'd you think?
Like, no.
What'd you think about the trailer for the Lucifer and Biscuit, or for what is it? Is it the Lucifer and the Biscuit Hammer?
And the Biscuit Hammer.
Lucifer and the Biscuit Hammer.
Lucifer and the Biscuit Hammer.
What the heck? Interesting.
Yeah, it is so. Now
good.
I will.
It looks
So
good.
Jeremiah, they removed all of the perverted stuff from it.
I'm not
They
watching
did.
it.
They did.
I'm not watching it. It's over. That you wrote it for me.
Well, that just takes out all the fun from me. Okay, I'm out.
It does. It does. It really. It does, man. I hate.
Well,
I hate when stuff gets altered and edited just to appease a certain minority.
it's not that
Really
bad,
quick.
honestly. It's really not that
there's
bad.
a lot of internal dialogue that's missing too. Like, there's a lot of confusion as to what's going on with the chains at the beginning. It's like, there wouldn't be as much confusion if it would just let him think about his checkered past for a hot second. But, yeah, it's a me thing.
Mikey, now maybe I don't know what this is, but Mikey in the chat is saying, what do you guys think about the new season coming out?
New season coming out about Baki. Baki the Grappler. That has been insane.
You mean the anime that's drawn and inked before testosterone?
Yeah.
Wait,
like
what?
Literally, it like I didn't think there was a way to outpace JoJo's Bizarre Adventure for just insanely buff dudes, and then Baki comes out. I was like, holy, okay.
The fuck is
But
Baki?
Yeah,
I let look it up.
It was on Netflix. I think it still is on Netflix.
Oh, okay. Jesus. All right.
I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Baki kind of looks like Ultimate Muscle.
So that's like, I mean, as a man who went through both iterations of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, I'm like, these guys are pretty flamboyant, but this is great, And then I get to then I got to Kengan Sakura. It's a weird fighting 3D CGI, and I'm like, wow, a step up. I don't think anything could beat this. And then I was turned on to Baki. I'm like, holy crap! Well, at one point, we're just gonna have a man who's nothing but a forearm, no face, no mouth, just a bicep, just
like, let me tell you how full of testosterone this is. The guy legit fights Muhammad Ali Jr., bro.
Well, yeah, it's pretty dope.
Like, what?
Okay, I'll have to check this out.
It's crazy, dude. It's crazy.
Okay, so moving on to the next summer anime, and that is My Stepmom's Daughter Is My Ex.
It's my ex. Oh my god.
Oh my gosh.
That is a guilty pleasure now.
I can't believe you made me watch that. Oh,
I can't believe I'm still watching that.
Right?
Oh man, I watch it every week.
Yeah,
I watch it every week.
It's one of those. God, it's out. It's like, well, I got nothing better to do with my life, But secretly, it's actually pretty entertaining.
It's not as bad as Rent a Girlfriend, which is in its season 2. Rent a Girlfriend is cringe to the max, but it's cringe on the level that it's uber entertaining. Like it's just, but it's so bad.
Can I ask you guys a question in regards to
sir.
anime?
Yeah.
So, what's
42.
one anime that's your guilty pleasure?
Sword Art Online.
Demon King Daimyo.
Guilty pleasure, Casey.
I know. I'm trying to think here. Like, okay, what's
Because I have two.
probably Bo Fury, honestly, right now.
Go for
But
it.
for
Okay.
that's a guilty pleasure. That's such a beautiful, wholesome anime about friends wanting to hang out.
I know. That's why it's probably I feel guilty about it. Is because it's so pure.
So the thing is, I I would always say
I know
my
what Brent
guilty
is.
pleasure anime was School Rumble. Right?
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys ever seen it, but it's one of those animes that's cutesy, hilarious, makes zero sense. It's just fun. But I went back and watched an anime recently that I watched when I was like a teenager, and as cheesy as it is, as perverted and borderline hentai it is,
You just use a double. You just did a double take there because hentai means perverted in Japanese.
Oh well, there we go. You know, I said perverted for the non-Japanese folk, right? I'm bilingual. But anyways, but it's just one of the most. You look at it, and you're just like, why? But I actually enjoyed it as a whole because of the action scenes in there, over the top action scenes.
Okay.
And that's High School of the Dead.
Oh God, I have not watched that, but I've heard crazy things about High School of the Dead.
Have you ever played a game called Dead or Alive?
Stabilize a sniper.
Dead or Alive? Yeah, I've played Dead or Alive, of course.
Yeah. Do you know what Dead or Alive is known for?
Girls in short skirts and underwear,
bikinis,
boob jiggle mechanics, right? Like, you know?
Exactly.
That's that whole anime.
And let me go ahead. I will take it back. Guilty pleasure anime, Cardcaptor Sakura. I will state that.
Oh man,
dude, that's a phenomenal anime. Kids WB for the win, guys.
Oh heck
okay,
yeah.
so I have first, and we'll continue with summer anime here in a minute. Okay, we got to talk about some of these animes that were crazy dumbed down for kids. And Cardcaptor Sakura, I read, is hardcore dumbed down for kids.
Oh yeah,
like,
dude,
that is some hardcore shit.
It's like the first episode. It's like the first episode where Sakura goes in Japan. She goes on a date with the guy, but in the show, he takes her out just to show her a museum. The what's it called? The aquarium.
Oh yeah.
Like I remember thinking, like, this is a date, but I'm like, is he dating? Like, he takes her to the girl on a date, but and there they're like, no, they're just buddies. But you go back and watch like the sub, like the Japanese version. Oh no, they're on a date, and then you find out that Lee is actually gay.
Yeah.
But they covered that up.
Well, in that world.
That's not the first time they've done that. Cough, cough, Sailor Moon. So,
gosh. Oh yeah, no. In Sailor Moon, 2 of the Sailor Scouts are lesbians and they're in a relationship together. In the American version,
I did not know that.
In the American version, they are not a couple; they are cousins. Cousins who like
they are cousins. Cousins who
very
like
close
to
cousins.
fondly touch each
very
other's
close
thighs,
cousins.
vaguely kiss. Yes,
it's the first time that a lot of kids have heard of kissing cousins before.
And then of course Digimon. Digimon is heavily censored for the US.
Dude, that is dark. Dude, Yu-Gi-Oh had some dark moments too.
Oh yeah. Have you guys ever actually read like the original Yu-Gi-Oh manga?
I don't read.
Yeah.
He flat out kills people. Like
yeah. That scene with Taya when at her job at the fast food chain, where he literally corners the guy in a closet and sends him to the Shadow Realm.
Mm-hmm. And then there was like one guy that he actually lights on fire because he loses. Oh my gosh, it was crazy. And then of course he had Pokemon.
God, gotta love that.
Manga's pretty dope. Don't get me started on Cardcaptor Sakura though, because y'all, Isaac, you and Jacob, before I came into this, had that whole talk Edward Elric versus Sakura, and I'm like, Sakura bodies Edward Elric every freaking day, and I threw out facts and everything like that, but Jacob time out.
What did I go for?
You didn't go for Sakura. I thought you agreed with him, though, that Edward Elric could win, which is not the case.
No, I said Edward Elric could have a chance, but
no. He can't. He can't, because there's sentient cards. Like, no.
Dude, he has long blonde hair, all right? What are you going to do? What are you going to do against that?
That's fair. They are the most German of Japanese.
There we go. German engineering.
But don't even
I've been tempted to rewatch I watched Cardcaptor Sakura on like on
a mystic
adventure. Cardcaptor's a quest.
That song was so hype. That song was so hype. I don't care about anyone.
Yeah.
That song was so hype.
I'm thinking about because it's on Crunchyroll, and I'm thinking about watching it again.
Yeah.
Let's do it, guys. A live stream, first episode. Let's go. Like,
I don't know how much trouble I would get in for that.
I get freaking flagged for playing the theme song.
I know, right? Jesus.
I mean, I'm talking about like later on, like pop in Discord and let's just like go call the night.
Oh, for sure, we should do that.
Cardcaptor Sakura episode 1. Let's go.
Okay, so next for summer anime is Classroom of the Elite season 2.
Oh well,
we'll get to call it.
Yeah. Save the best for last. I see you.
That's right. So Classroom of the Elite season 2 is in full swing. Have any of you guys watched any of it?
Yes.
Yeah, with you.
So one thing I wanted to throw out there, I do watch a lot of anime, but I told Brent this when he was on my podcast 2 days ago. Was it 2 days ago?
Mm-hmm.
2 days ago. That my personality sucks when it in regards to getting into hobbies, games, animes, movies. Because one of my flaws, Jacob sees it as a blessing, but I see it as a flaw. When I'm into something, I'm into it.
Sure.
But within a month or so, I get bored and I drop it wholeheartedly. So, anime, I dropped like a bad habit for about 3 to 4 months. So I'm barely trying to
barely
catch
hanging
them.
On there.
Yeah, I'm hanging on my little finger trying to pull my way back up. So most of these animes like that have season 2, just assume I did not watch even. I don't even know what you're talking about.
You should watch Classroom of the Elite. It's pretty hardcore. Mm-hmm. You should check it out.
Is it about a classroom with elite people in there?
It more is. Or less. Exactly is. I mean,
so what you're saying is I need to watch X-Men.
I'm sorry, what's that?
First Class, baby.
I need to watch X-Men.
X-Men.
No, they don't have superpowers. I don't think they do.
No, they don't. They're just all super smart and very hoity-toity. Okay, and then of course, as my thumbnail for this particular stream shows is Call of the Night, which is like my most hyped, like brand new anime. I guess the best way to put it is that it is Twilight but good.
No.
I don't know what that is.
Stephanie Meyer's be damned, you know?
I
don't know because she doesn't sparkle in daylight. I don't think.
I know, right? She's actually a legit vampire.
Speaking of sparkle, sorry to interrupt. Did you ever?
No, go ahead.
Did you guys ever? So this right before I stopped watching anime for like a period of time, there was one anime that the last anime I watched was because you said sparkle and literally every scene the characters are sparkling, like they're in a jail and one's like
Nambaka.
You guys ever watch Nambaka?
I've never heard of that.
So,
never heard of that.
It's on Crunchyroll. It is a fantastic anime.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Because literally every character is glistening. Like there's sparkles on them.
They always try to escape this prison, and they're like in this one with like this really tough warden, but it's fantastic.
And it's and what's so funny is that there's actually a guy from Texas in there.
What the heck is this?
It's someone's fever dream, but it's beautiful.
Oh,
okay.
Man.
So I've got two things. I've got two things in chat. So yesterday, when I had Dip Down Games and Anime on, I told them that they needed to prioritize this anime as the next anime that they watch, and they are saying once we finish Spy Family and Shield Hero, they're gonna start Assassination Classroom.
Assassination
Nice.
Classroom. Assassination Classroom is better, so you should just stop where you're at.
Spy
And go
Family
watch
is
that.
absolutely
And go watch
phenomenal. Don't you ever?
No, I didn't say
Assassin's
it's not.
Creed
I
is
didn't
just
say
as
it's not
good,
great.
if not.
It's better.
I'm saying that I don't
Brent,
think
move
that
your
there's
head.
any issue
Brent, move your head and show
finishing
them.
those two.
Show them.
Oh, yeah.
Classroom.
Oh, here,
Show us.
hang on.
Yeah. I just like the way he runs.
He has nice calves. You know that?
Let me tell you, you know.
Yes, he does. Like he legit.
Those are the calves of a man who runs from his wrong.
Yes, dude.
Koro Sensei.
My Assassination Classroom box set.
Oh, look at that. Oh, so beautiful.
Volume 1.
Your happiness makes me want to break in and steal that.
and then of course I have both seasons of the anime.
Kirby?
It's my favorite. So I failed to mention this to them yesterday, and I think I'll go ahead and mention it to them now. That Assassination Classroom is so special to me that I refuse to rewatch it when I want to rewatch it, and I save it. I save it for a very specific time of year. I save it for late February and early March of every year to rewatch it and reread it, because that is the time of Koro Sensei's birthday, and it is so special to me. This is my favorite.
I mean, I do the same in October. Like when October hits, I'm rewatching Soul Eater.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, seasons 1 and 2. Okay.
Except for the last episode. The last episode could die.
So, okay.
Last like
now,
2 or 3 episodes. Yeah, sure.
Oh yeah.
We have another question in the chat. Jessica comes back with, do you think more black people watching anime than any other race of people, and what are your thoughts on it? That is kind of a loaded question.
Wow. If we are actually talking about race here, probably I would probably say that Japanese is probably the biggest race that watches anime, considering that that's primarily where it's from.
I'm sure she's talking about.
Hey, no. I'm gonna give the politically correct answer here. Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Do it.
Like, no, I mean, yes. You know why? Because they're human. They're people. There's only one race, and that's the human race. So all of us together outweigh animals. Oh, my dog doesn't watch anime. My cat doesn't watch anime. Me and the people watch anime. Okay,
my dog watches anime sometimes.
Yeah, that's 2 dogs.
You're back again.
How dare you?
Keep going.
Show me those thighs.
No, but all in all,
no
though, so here's the thing, though, because I really don't care about stuff like this, because I say whatever's on my mind. Me and Jacob, my brother, have this thing we always say, and actually, this is what's channel. Should I say it? Should I say it? So, you know what?
I don't know. You always say what's on your mind, Isaac. I'm just waiting to.
But
to
I
hear
do that. I do that on
new.
my podcast, though. This is Will's podcast. I'm not trying to get him canceled. Let's just say the select people you're mentioning.
There's no way I could know that without seeing the actual demographic, how many people are watching it. There's further study that needs to happen. If I had to assume what demographic watches more anime than anyone else,
my question is, why does it matter?
Our robot overlords, since the internet pretty much controls everything, and Skynet is just around the corner. The robots are obviously watching more anime, and they are going to learn.
You know what? I'll say this. I don't think so. I think it's white people, to be completely honest.
To be completely honest, I kind of have to agree with you. But then again, I just have to ask the question of, why does it matter?
Because it's a question, okay? It needs to be answered.
They're trying to get.
Can I say something that may get you canceled?
You want to say something that might get me canceled?
Yes.
I have 123 followers. I don't think that anything could possibly get me canceled at this point.
I beg to differ. There's people digging up tweets from 2012.
That's true. That is true. But I guess if it's coming from you, then technically it's not me getting canceled.
Okay, yeah, exactly. Okay, we'll do that. Okay. So me and my brother had this little joke, and it's always we always say when it comes to the African people, when it comes to black people, they always one up everybody. And what I mean by that, it feels like they play sports, they're better. You got that one skater dude. He goes fuller with it than the typical white boy. And like I've met like at my school, I hung out with blacks and Mexicans, right? Primarily black folks. That's who I grew up with. And we always had this one dude, not Hispanic descent at all, but he was more Mexican than I could ever become. So I just feel, I mean, I can see where you may think that, because when it comes to black people, they're like the most nerdiest people I've ever met. For me personally.
Okay. that was a very interesting turn in which the podcast took. The show tonight took. But yeah, so Dip Down Games and Anime, I'm glad that you're going to be starting Assassination Classroom next, because it is one of the best anime manga out there ever, and you will
good.
You will enjoy your experience. So here's the thing with Casey being here. Casey gave me a hard time about this yesterday. He was like, Brent, why didn't you tell them that I was one of the people, or I was the person that convinced you to start watching Assassination Classroom? Okay, Casey, you get all the credit. It was all on you.
What? No, you don't have to give me all the credit. You don't have to give me all the credit. However, I will state, if you ever do bring up Bo Fury, you do have to give me all credit for that.
No, that is all you.
I did actually force you to watch that.
That was all you. This dude, he comes over to my house and he's like, Brent, yeah, I think what were we doing that night? Were we just hanging out?
We were just hanging out.
And I think we started with video games, and then he's like, Brent, I need to show you this anime. And I'm like, okay. He's like, it's called Bo Furry. I don't want to get hurt, so we'll max out your defense. So I'll max out my defense. And he's like, trust me, it's really good. And I'm like, okay. So I sit down and I start watching this thing. And here we got two girls, and they're starting this MMO. And like all of a sudden, one is super overpowered. And I'm like, let's watch all of this tonight.
And we did. The whole season we watched.
Did we watch the whole season in one night?
We watched the whole season in one night.
I mean, it is only 12 episodes, but it was fire. Like, that is so good. Huh?
What anime?
Bo Furry.
It's called Bo Furry. I don't want to get hurt, so I'll max out my defense.
Mm-hmm. It's cute. Actually, a similar thing happened with myself and my wife. It was a Sunday afternoon. We were like, yeah, we'll just start something. Just going to watch something over lunch, and then we'll go do what we're supposed to do. We totally canceled plans that night. Like, nah, screw that crap. We were supposed to leave by like 4. It's like, nah, ain't happening. Like, nope. I'll see y'all next weekend. We had to finish that. It was actually really good.
The only anime I did something similar to that, and it was also like 12 episodes, was Gangsta.
Gangsta?
Gangsta.
Yeah. You ever watched that, Casey?
No, I've never even heard of that.
Okay, wait. Do you like Samurai Champloo?
Yes.
Same creator.
Okay. I'm definitely going to look that up now.
The opening is legit.
Yup. That's what got me in.
Yeah, dude. And the thing about it is, the manga's still going, but the company that made the anime got bankrupt, so the anime stopped. The series was still going, but it's to the point to where that series is more of a hobby for her. Like, it's whenever she wants to make another chapter or so. Like, she doesn't have a deadline or nothing. It's like there'll be months, maybe a year, in between releases.
Interesting.
Because for her, like, it's just a hobby for her at this point. And I was just like, I mean, I don't read. I like people that read to tell me what happens.
I don't read.
So, Isaac, this might intrigue you. I've heard rumors of a Soul Eater reboot.
It needs the Brotherhood treatment. If it doesn't have the Brotherhood treatment, I don't want it.
I completely agree with Isaac on this one. They actually need to follow the storyline of Soul Eater.
The manga itself is fantastic, and it ended horribly in the anime.
They did a fucking Care Bear ending. They gave me a Care Bear ending talking about the power of friendship, guys.
and pro tag armor. But yes, it's guy, and so I'm not going to spoil too much for those who might have watched it, haven't read it, or want to read it or whatever. I will just say that I was waiting for one big betrayal the entire time watching the anime that never happened, and it pissed me off.
Okay, I'm glad I'm not the only one then.
I'm sitting here watching towards the end of it. Don't mean to shout, but it's like I'm just like, okay, any minute now, any minute we're about to take a huge turn. Never did.
No, and that's bugged me so much because it just ruins the character then.
Yeah, it ruined everything it led up to be. I hated it in life. I went through a little emo phase because of it. Started listening to what was it, My Chemical Romance again?
Black Parade playing on repeat.
Let me tell you how addicted I was to Soul Eater, right? It got to the point where, like, cause I was watching it when YouTube still kind of had anime on there. Like, it was always split into like 3 parts, you know,
Sure.
and or it being mirrored. I was so addicted to that. This was back when I didn't have unlimited data. When AT&T was like, 2 gigabytes is enough data for a month.
Nope.
I would burn that so quickly because I was watching that at school, and then we had family come over to go to the state fair, and there was these my cousins that I'm close with them, you know, and I hadn't seen them in years. I was like guys, I'm happy you guys are here, and I know we're going to a giant fair, but I'm watching Soul Eater right now, so. Literally, the whole time I'm at the fair, I'm holding my phone up like this, just watching Soul Eater. and then, you know, I get to the end, and I just think, all that time wasted.
I gave my whole life to this. I could have gone to the fair.
All that time, I could have chilled with my cousins, and I chose you. And where has that led me? Like, it's like that meme, like, and what did it cost you? I'm like,
everything.
As a Cowboys fan, though, you're used to that type of letdown. It didn't hurt you. Like,
no, it hurt me. I'm gonna tell you why. Because at least with the Cowboys, I know it's gonna happen.
yeah, no, being a Cowboys fan is like being in an abusive relationship that you can't escape, and you always find an excuse to stay.
No, dude. Wait. Okay, I know this is an anime podcast, and
no, go ahead. Go ahead.
Can I say something about the?
Go ahead.
This last season hurt me so much. I don't care about football this season. This is the first season since 2006. I don't know who we drafted. I don't know what players we got or who. I cut it off. I was like, I'm done with you guys. If the game's on, sure, I'll watch it. But my thing is, we had the highest probability of winning it, and even then, we still lost. So now you expect me to get faith for a lesser team? Get out of here.
It is what. So here's how you take the Cowboys game. For anybody who does watch it, listen. If you get to the fourth quarter with the Cowboys, regardless of if they're home or away, if they're not up by 17 points, we've lost. That's on the off chance that we won, it's because someone messed up in the booth. The refs were obviously for us that day. We got some pity points, but if we're not up by 2 scores and a field goal, we're not making it. Like, because I used to say if we're not up by 14 points, but then we start effing going to overtime on 2 scores going in. It's like, okay, so 17 points. We're not up 17 points. We cannot play a full 4 quarters. We are a 3-quarter team. Take it or leave it. You know,
like Jeremiah said. Like I used to always make this as a joke.
Okay, so on the unless you have some final thoughts on the Cowboys.
That was.
That
was my other brother. That was my other brother. His name is Josue. He's a little short guy. No, so anyways, I was gonna say
that was
no, Amari would definitely hurt. Yes, yeah, he's the oldest.
No. Like he looks so different from I met him in Austin in 2017.
Yeah,
he looks so different now.
But it's one of those situations. It's an abusive relationship where I used to make fun of girls. They'd be like, "He'll change, guys. Just give him a chance. It'll be different this time." I used to be like, "You're such an idiot." And I look in the mirror and I'm thinking, "Wait, that's me." My Cowboys. They beat me. They throw me downstairs. They knock a tooth out. But you know,
You keep telling me you're going to change.
They came back with some nice beautiful roses. I was like, you know what? This time, I know it's for real.
So on the topic of Soul Eater, Fire Force is getting a season 3.
The most underrated anime that's out right now. Is that the anime you're talking about? The most underappreciated anime that's out right now. The anime that I personally put above My Hero Academia.
I wouldn't go that far.
I would.
No, okay, honestly, as much as I love My Hero Academia, Fire Force is fire. Like
no pun intended. I get he did the thing.
I did do the thing. Like honestly, like it's real. Like Fire Force is great. And you know what? That intro, Inferno by Mrs. Greenapple, so good.
I love Mayday more though.
But you don't high note in the last 20 seconds, I don't even know it, and I racially just try to mumble through it, just
I stopped watching the anime so that way I can read through the manga. So I'm reading the manga right now for Fire Force.
I'm trying to remember, where does the season 2 end with Fire Force?
I don't
season
know.
2 ends after the failed attempt at all the companies going into the Nether or whatever.
Oh, okay.
And then they have, so pretty much they have most of the sparks. And I actually ended on a really good note because it paid homage to the moon and pretty much connected the worlds of Soul Eater to Fire Force. Whenever she's praying to the moon, and it does that glitch out, and it shows the mad moon.
The Sterling moon.
I think.
Nice.
So,
okay, I'll definitely have to go back into that.
It is definitely.
I might need to read a volume tonight when I get off, because where I'm at in the manga, I just finished the company. What is it? The company 6 stuff with Benimaru.
You're barely
7.
there, dude.
Company 7.
That's company 7.
Yeah,
I'm at the Benimaru stuff in the manga, so I'm at the
I finished the manga.
You finished the manga?
Yeah.
Nice. I have so much manga that I'm reading right now. I'm also juggling Komi Can't Communicate. I'm juggling rereading Call of the Night as the anime comes out. And then I'm reading Fire Force, and I'm reading the light novels for Classroom of the Elite. I'm juggling a lot of reading, and then of course I'm reading Lucifer and the Biscuit Hammer.
I'm about to say, sir, I'm failing to hear the most important thing for me right now.
I'm just kidding. Like I said, I don't read.
It's okay. Wait, hang on. So, have you finished? Have you actually read Fire Force, or were you just messing with me?
I don't read.
Oh, dude, you should read. Okay,
just
read some.
No, I read in college. I read in school. I read at church. I once read the menu, and I got mad.
It's okay. I was in the same mindset.
I will read it to you, and I will do every voice.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like my friend, he read Gangsta. And I was like, dude, read it, and just tell me what happens. I can visualize it, and that's a perfect relationship. Like, you just tell me what happens, and I'm happy. But if I gotta look at something and move my eyes side to side, that's just too much work that I don't need to be doing.
Dude, you're missing out on Chainsaw Man. You're missing out.
I can't be missing out on something I don't know exists.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
So basically, what Isaac is saying,
not believe it exists. You heard it here first, folks. Books don't exist. It's just propaganda.
No, the books are there.
Obviously, for Isaac's sake, we need to do a "Are You Afraid of the Dark" thing, and I'll just gather and just tell the stories of these mangas for him.
I would be
who fought fire with fire.
No, honestly, he can tell me the most bare if there's an anime for it, right? And I watched it, for instance, My Hero Academia.
Okay.
I watched season 1, but the manga is way ahead. If someone was like, "Hey," and you want me to just tell you what happens? I'm like, when's season 2 coming out? Oh, next year. Yeah, go ahead.
I have to be that way with a few of my friends who just can't keep it. It's like, yeah, go ahead. I mean, they ain't gonna hurt my feelings, son. So,
because my thing is with mangas, I've learned, with books in general, they leave stuff out. So even if you tell me what happens, the probability of that showing in the anime, it's like it's 50-50. It's either gonna be there or it's not.
You know what? I disagree. Every anime that I've watched so far has been fairly truthful to the source material.
Not older animes.
Recently it has. I'll give you that. But like back in the day, My Hero Academia, for instance, not only does it sport not having too much filler, it has followed pretty well to a T.
Yeah.
We come from a generation that had Isaac brought before Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
Yu Yu Hakusho.
We've had like things just literally pulled out of certain stories just for the sake of convenience. It's just that would happen. Yeah, Bleach in its entirety.
Hey Casey, I gotta ask you a personal question. It's very personal.
Oh, great!
So you have to answer it. There's no.
Are you really just a floating sea in a circle?
Are you though? No, Bleach or Naruto?
Ooh, that's a good one. Oh,
well, there is a wrong answer, by the way. But go ahead.
Are we talking about before or after time jumps?
Just Bleach or Naruto.
Bleach hasn't had its time skip yet, so you can't really go there.
I already know what the correct answer is according to these guys down here.
I will.
In all honesty, I would probably go with Naruto on this one.
Oh no!
You know what? You know what, Juicy? We like steaks. They like chicken nuggets.
Yeah, I'm telling you. So that, anyways, Casey, it was nice to have you on Brent's show. You can close it on your way out.
We've taken over. It's our show now.
Okay. Well, at least I don't have to worry now.
DLC saying happy birthday to Brent. And,
Freedom!
No, I mean, I won't say there's a right or wrong. Bleach had its points. Bleach obviously lost out as soon as the Chunin exam started. As soon as the Gaara and Rock Lee fight, like Bleach had it, in my opinion, at the beginning, until that happened. When that got animated, it's like, oh well, it was a good run while it lasted, guys.
Yeah, I'll say that like Bleach, Naruto
saved this. That's by making Aizen into a butterfly.
I'll say this like when in regards to fighting scenes, Bleach has some good ones. Naruto did have like the tuning exams for me is when Naruto peaked. After that, Naruto, including Shippuden, was just a steady flow. Whereas with Bleach, you didn't have that one fight that you remember. Like, oh man, like you remember, like everyone can remember Rock Lee versus Gaara.
I did, but yeah.
I mean, I know, but I'm saying it's not as big as the Rock Lee versus Gaara. And on that scale,
say that Bleach has more scenes that are memorable than Naruto when it comes to fight scenes. And sure, some hardcore fans can pull out some scenes that are off the top of their heads, but I will say the common man only knows like 3 scenes, and that is Zabuza killing everybody on the bridge, and that's literally for both of them. For both. No. Actually, I'll retract that because of the pain arc. So if we're doing both, then it would be the Chunin exams, the first fight, Naruto versus Sasuke.
Thanks for coming by, Dip Down Games and Anime. Appreciate it.
Bye, Dip Down.
People that Brent cheated on us with. All right. But
go ahead and finish your comment.
No, by the way, that was a great video. Everybody's go check it out. I watched it earlier, your collab, and I was very spiteful, but at the same time, beautiful. It was wonderful. But anyways, but no. So my thing is with Bleach, like people remember like early scenes, like Ichigo fighting against the hollow that was looking for the bird. It was a game to him and stuff, and him ripping out the tongue. People remember his fight with Kenpachi. People remember Uryu's fight with
the 12th Division captain.
Yeah, the science guy, Koritsuchi.
Dude, I was gonna say that. That's like one of my favorite ones, especially when he broke.
I will state that
his bracelet.
Bleach does actually have my favorite like badass song whenever like something badass is about to happen. The whole like and Ichigo's like just standing there. Yes.
Number
Oh,
one,
and it has like that part that woman singing like
yeah,
like kind of yeah.
Feel like number one. Shout
but
it. No, and
the only reason why
it
I
took
do say Naruto, honestly, is because of the anime. Because they did stop Bleach the anime, and they stopped it right in the middle of the fight between Ichigo and Aizen.
Well, they
Oh,
no,
finished
what,
they
that fight.
finished the anime.
They finished the anime.
They finished the
when I
anime
was
all the way
actually
through Fullbring.
well, not at first. They actually had stopped it like right in the middle of the fight, and then they started the Bounto series, and they started that filler season. They didn't actually finish the
Alto?
fight.
Or no, yeah, are you talking about the Soul arc, right? Or the Soul Mod arc, right?
I think
That's
so.
the one. That's the one with the green-haired guy and the green-haired
Yeah.
girl.
No. I'm talking about the one where it's when Ichigo loses his powers.
Yeah,
When I was
You had like that
watching
all
it,
metal chick.
metal chick.
no.
No, this one. Oh,
Oh, no.
I'm gonna have to look this
So
guy up now.
you're gonna have to no. So if you're talking about the one where he's losing his powers, but there's some soul mod chick, the guy who created soul mods, he created soul mods, the captains, blah blah. That does specifically happen after Aizen, and it was a filler arc created to continue Ichigo's loss of power between that and the Fullbring arc, which I guess could technically be a time skip, but that did happen after Aizen. Now, the one thing that did happen, which pissed me off, was the whole let's do a Zanpakuto Rebellion arc in the middle of a damn war, and then we came right back to the war in the middle of that arc, and I'm like, okay, so we're back here, and then let's go finish the Rebellion arc. It's like, God, but I did like that. Fun fact, actually, since you brought up the Bounto arc, the Soul Mod arc, in that it's a filler arc, but they made it to where there were no recycled scenes when it came to fighting animations. They made it a point that every fight in that was like a hand drawn, like every swing had a purpose. It wasn't like you'd see like in other filler arcs. And it came out fantastic. I will say that Bleach's filler arcs, and if we ever want to do a talk about this as to whose filler arc was better, Naruto or Bleach, I'm standing by Bleach. At the end of it, I actually looked forward to some of that. You know, Bound was kind of crap. Zanpakuto Rebellion was fantastic, and the Soul Mod arc was my favorite. So
I do actually agree with you on that. I do not like the Naruto fillers, especially the filler that literally said it was a filler in the episode. Oh my gosh! Like, really, guys? Really?
Wait, I want to say this. Aren't we happy that fillers, for the most part, are a thing of the past now?
Except for Black Clover.
Never heard of it.
Well,
anyways,
to be fair, I kind of like the fillers from Black. I like
the filler. I like the filler.
The thing is, like, I don't mind fillers. I mean, there's just one thing with animes that I've noticed is most animes have that one filler that every anime has, and that's the beach episode where every anime needs to have a beach episode, and then
this is a zombie.
Black Clover. Actually, so one of my favorite things about Black Clover is you always have to have a beach episodes. They do that in there, the water temple. So what do? All the women, some of them have, maybe some hot like swimsuits. For the most part, it's pretty much full on swimsuits. Like, you ready, guys? And you see every man is a part of the Black Bulls in like a Speedo and like showing off their like the beach episodes. Literally those guys. I'm like, I feel like the creator was just like, screw you guys. You want a beach episode? Here's your beach episode. Oh, shut up, No,
dude. I just, but I don't mind it. It's always that one scene where the underage girl comes out in her one piece, and all the guys are like, oh, "She's so cute." I'm just like, okay.
That is. Have you guys ever watched This Is a Zombie?
Yeah. Is this a zombie?
Is this a zombie?
Is a zombie.
Casey, did you recommend that to me?
I did, yeah.
We're going to hell.
That was one of the random ones I recommended. Come on, how can a zombie being a cute magical girl? How can you get over that? But yes, and you're correct. It was actually the fake Kankuro Town arc.
Mm-hmm.
Bleach. and they didn't finish the battle with Aizen before they went to the Zanpakuto Tails arc.
Yeah.
That's the reason why I like Naruto better than Bleach, because it's like, it ruined it for me.
You know, I mean, I'm not trying to hate on Naruto. I actually really do enjoy Naruto, right? I really do like Naruto and Shippuden. That being said, though, I think I like Avatar more than Naruto.
Which Avatar? There's like 3 you can choose from, 2 different movies.
I'm hoping that it's the Last Airbender. Right?
Last Airbender.
The Last Airbender. The Last Airbender.
You're talking about the M. Night Shyamalan movie.
Yeah, the blue one, right?
I don't know what you're talking about. What? Never heard of it.
What? I know,
Who's
right?
M. Night Shyamalan? Never heard of that guy.
All right,
Shyamalan.
Well, I mean, speaking of Avatar, I do have to say, like, the actors that they're getting for the live action show for Netflix do actually kind of seem pretty interesting.
Look, I don't want to be the party pooper. I know they're doing a live action for Yu Yu Hakusho. Has there been a good live action by Netflix yet?
Oh, by Netflix? No.
So are we really excited for this?
If you would have left it good live action, I would have come in with the Rurouni Kenshin trilogy. But I mean,
actually, I will state this: Cowboy Bebop, the show, actually was pretty good.
It was not.
I enjoyed it. Okay,
not by general consensus.
I enjoyed it.
So first off,
that is the first hot take I've ever heard Casey have. By the way,
me being Mexican, like seeing my people represented. But May, the actress for May, literally had a meltdown before the show even came out, and that kind of soured my taste for it. And then her character, do I blame her? No, I blame the writers. The writers made May so annoying.
And to be fair, she was annoying in the irregular show too. The only thing that helped you get past it was the fact that she wore skimpy clothing. But her character was pretty grating in the show too. In the first half,
fan service.
No, I feel bad. Yeah. I feel bad for the guy that plays Spike, because you can tell he wholeheartedly wanted that to succeed.
Yes, and so my thing is, like, you can definitely tell he's older. We watched that with a group of friends, and like the first thing came out of one of Tabby's friends' mouth was just like, he's so old though now. It's like, and now I can't stop seeing him as some geriatric 50-year-old Spike Spiegel. This is the after years. He didn't actually die on the steps.
And then,
but
I did like Spike
portrayed Jet. I hated how they portrayed Jet. Like I
like the actor.
I don't know. Yeah, I like the actor, and I thought he was doing the best he could. Like I said, I blame the writers with that one. Ed at the end, I was happy that Ed was a part of it. But everybody else seemed to hate it. So
the thing is, not Naruto, but Netflix, they listen to their fans at the worst possible time. and what I mean by that is, what was it? Death Note. Death Note comes out. Oh my god, you whitewashed our anime. So you know what, guys? We're gonna fix this. We're gonna get an anime based in Germany and get some blonde-headed Japanese dudes. And at this point, like, no, that's the proper time to have them to be white. Fullmetal Alchemist, if you're wondering.
Yeah.
Like, they look weird. They look like cosplayers.
I'll be curious to see if there's ever a Netflix adaptation of Spy Family, because that's another one of those one of those European style kind of things.
They would do a live action Naruto before they do Spy Family, I would say.
Since we're on the topic of live action animes from Netflix, I will tell y'all, as an avid and hardcore Bleach fan, whenever the live action came out for that, and I watched it, my whole thought going through that was, So they just heard Bleach was really popular 10 years ago, and they decided, fuck it, let's just go from memory and try to make an anime out of it. Like, I literally feel like they heard synopsis from friends at different tables, and none of them watched the anime. None of them read the source material. Like, it was about some kid. He lived in school, had a big ass sword.
No, it was like this, Jeremiah. It was like this. Hold on. Don't call my niece. Hey, what was the anime called? Bleach? What was the character's name?
His name is Naruto, right?
His name's Naruto. And he goes Super Saiyan when he gets angry.
It's Strawberry.
And he says, "You won't like me when I'm angry." He goes even more Super Saiyan. He goes like to part 2 and part 3, right?
I'll give you that. It's like they called up their young like niece or nephew, like 8 to 10 years old. Like, okay, so explain Bleach to me. Who's this guy? His name is Ichigo. He goes to school, but then at times he doesn't because he goes and fights Hollows, and Ruki is there, but then Ruki's brother and Renji come to take her back, and so he has to fight them. And I feel like they took that and was like, fuck it, let's make an anime out of it. Like, that's everything we need to know right here, you know?
Pretty much.
Like, I
have no idea what any of you guys are talking about because I haven't watched
Bleach.
Bleach. I know.
Bleach.
You'll have to.
Because my thing is, like, if Netflix is understood, if you're gonna make a live action anime, and I know anime is Japanese, and they come out speaking Japanese, and then they get dubbed later on, but sometimes it's okay to make them speak English to begin with, depending on where they are located. They get the character, the people, the actors that fit that anime. But they're too scared after the backlash of whitewashing. They're like, no, guys, we gotta go strictly Japanese. We're going grade A. We're going A5 Wagyu. Okay, guys.
Even something like Attack on Titan, that isn't even like full on. Like, I think they've indicated that only
Ain't that Germany also?
Is it Misaka? Is it her name Misaka, the lead female?
Yeah, she's Japanese.
Yeah,
she's Asian. Like they depict her as Asian, but like everybody else, I believe, is depicted as like
Germanic by
Germanic. Yeah,
Germanic by.
I mean, look at that German engineering. Okay, there's no way that is.
But like, you know, back to Spy Family, I believe Spy Family is also that like Germanic, yeah, whatever. As well. So like, is that, you know, English. If they ever, huh?
I thought it was more English.
I mean, either or. Like, they're definitely like, it's definitely like a European style aesthetic, you know, like, so it's like, what are they going to do with that? Like, if they ever did a live action for that, it's like, is that going to be like, you know, I will say this though, bear with me here, to give M. Night Shyamalan a little bit of credit, at least he like stylized each individual nation as like their own ethnicity. Like, I thought that was like a good way to approach it to where it wouldn't be viewed as full blown whitewashing.
Except for the main characters.
What are you talking about?
Do you mean Ong or Suka?
No. So the Water Nation was always
I'm
supposed
talking
to be.
about Katara.
My favorite is
Katara was not the same race as the Water Tribe.
I believe the
She was just albino. Calm down.
So I think that's what he went for. I think the Water Nation was supposed to be like white people, and then like then the Earth Nation was supposed to be more like along the line of Oriental Asians, and then the Fire Nation was Indian nations, and then of course the Airbenders were supposed to be more along the lines of like Tibetans.
Yeah, see, I would congratulate him on that, except for the fact that they already stated that the different nations of Avatar are actually based off of different races. So it's like, okay, cool, he did
true.
But he did his own thing.
At least he stuck with it. At least he stuck with it.
You know, there's one anime that people may disagree with me with, one live action that people may disagree with me with, but I remember there was this whole thing of whitewash. And after watching the anime, I was like,
Super Mario Brothers.
Ghost in the Shell.
Ghost in the Shell.
With
Scarlett
Johansson.
Now, because the whole thing of it is, I mean, it could just be a different shell. Because she could, you get what I'm saying, right, Jeremiah? Have you seen it, Brett?
No. Ghost in the Shell is an old anime, and yes, it could be the Major in a whole nother body. I think the best thing about the Ghost in the Shell live action movie with Scarlett Johansson was that we heard this whitewash just like epidemic, if you will, over here in the West. And so they actually went and started interviewing Japanese people like on the streets. Like, what do you think about Scarlett Johansson playing the Major in Ghost in the Shell? Half of the people were like, "What? I don't know. I didn't watch it." Yeah, like that's anime and that's someone else's thing. And for the people who did like it, we're like, "Hell yeah, we're just happy that a big name actor or actress is on it," because everyone knows about the Western actors. Like their names carry weight.
Yeah. So like on that note, so Jeremiah, did you watch that video with Johnny Young Bosch and the Japanese actor for Ichigo? Did you watch that video that I sent you?
Yes, I did.
Did you read the comments at all? Did you read any of the comments?
Can you guys enlighten me? What happened?
So there was with the return of Bleach, Viz did this thing where the Japanese actor for Ichigo came out and read some lines, and then he was like, "I'm gonna toss it to you, Johnny Young Bosch. You read it in English now." And so you'd hear the Japanese lines and then you'd hear the English lines from Johnny Young Bosch. And so they did that a couple times with some like heavy hitting lines that are throughout the series. And then in the comment section, it's just all these people going, the Japanese actors probably hate the American voice actors. The Japanese actors probably despise them. And like, they're only doing this stuff out of respect. And I'm like, bitch, how do you know?
Yeah.
The purists, the elites. I want to say one last final thought on this for myself. The worst live action of all time.
Don't say Alita.
I loved Alita. Okay.
Oh, okay, good.
That was actually pretty good.
That was really good. Captain Marvel. Never heard of that movie. Anyways, no, it was Dragon Ball Z Evolution.
Oh God, yeah.
That wasn't Dragon Ball. There is no Dragon Ball movie.
Evolution falls in the same category as Joker. Falls in the same category as oh gosh, I can't even think of the other movie that I brought up before. But
Batman?
If you just take the source material out of it that you're using to get more money, it's actually an entertaining thing to watch. If you took Dragon Ball out of it, like it was just a random fever dream of random powers fighting an alien dude.
Did you hear like a documentary on it? Like, did you ever watch a documentary on it?
There's a documentary on Dragon Ball Evolution.
Well, there's like a fan made one. So check this out. The guy that played Goku, right?
Justin Chadwin.
I don't know his name.
Chadwin. Yeah.
So when he got first off, he was surprised he got the role because he's a white guy. Because he went in there just for it because he's a fan.
Mm-hmm.
So he legit read the mangas. He is a nerd for this stuff.
He actually knows the character.
And when he got the script, he said he was so sad and disappointed at what happened. Like he's like he said throughout the whole movie, he's just thinking like, "Oh, this is not gonna end well."
And it didn't. However, I will say, Master Roshi was actually cast pretty well.
No, Piccolo was. Get out of here.
James Marsden? I like him. I like him as an actor. But yeah, I mean, not as Piccolo.
Oh, come on. So
so basically the first director that got dipped out, because the first director was like, "Yeah, dude, we're gonna stick with the source material." And then something happened with like creative freedoms or something, and he dipped out. And they got this other guy who knows nothing. He got offended, bro. He left. Like what was it? They got the new guy they got was literally writing the script day by day.
Ooh, that's yeah. That was such
So once I saw that, I was like, "Look, you still suck as Goku, but it's not your fault."
You mean Giku?
Oh, you're right, Giku. You know another movie that just came to mind? I totally forgot about this movie. Chun-Li.
Oh yeah. No, that was a horrible Street Fighter movie.
Like you get a character with thunder thighs, and you get the skinniest person to play her.
And I mean, this is also coming after like the original Street Fighter movie, with of course. Who played the one that...
No. Street Fighter with Jean-Claude Van Damme is a masterpiece.
I'm not saying it's a bad movie. I'm just saying that it's coming after that one. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that one. That's one of my favorite movies.
I still say this quote to this day. I was like, someone tells me something happened, I'm like, for you, it was one of the worst days in your life.
For me, it's just a Tuesday.
It's just a Tuesday.
What happened to Jeremiah? Did we leave Jeremiah?
I think we lost Jeremiah.
Oh, Isaac pissed him off too much. He couldn't be on here anymore.
I did. I've been very controversial today.
No, I like controversial opinions. I am. So here's the thing. I am looking to sort of wrap this up, but I would hate to wrap it up without Jeremiah.
He's okay.
Oh, there he is. I think he's. Hang on. I thought I heard the sound of him joining back in, but maybe not. Yeah. Have you guys seen the live actions for Assassination Classroom?
I've seen pictures of it, but I have not seen it.
Kudo Sensei looks terrible. He gives me nightmares. That's nightmare fuel, dude.
Well, I mean, isn't Koro Sensei supposed to be like nightmare fuel until you find out his personality?
No, this is visually. You look at him, you're like, oh.
Yeah, he's kind of goofy looking, isn't he?
Oh, it looks terrible. I will say one live action movie. One live action that was I actually didn't mind it too much. Well, granted, it was made in Japan. Was the original live action for Death Note?
Okay.
I do actually agree with you on that. That was actually pretty good movie.
I really enjoyed that. About that.
They portrayed L so well in that movie.
Dude, I think that's what highlight. I think that's what kind of carried it for me.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
because definitely. Dude, imagine they had that L and they had the Ryuk from the Netflix series with Willem Dafoe. Magic.
Yeah, I heard that Willem Dafoe's performance was the best part about that.
He's the only reason I watched it. Literally, he's the only reason I watched it. Just because I saw the trailer and his voice matched Ryuk so well. I'm just like, I know what I'm going for. It's one of those you gotta bite the bullet, bro.
I'm struggling with that anime right now.
What'd you say?
I'm struggling with the anime right now for Death Note. Death Note.
Why?
Oh, because he's back. So I'm struggling with the anime because I struggled with the manga for Death Note. It's really dark, it's really heavy. It's just it's hard to just kind of keep up with it. So I'm still kind of slowly but surely working my way through.
I'm gonna find my way to your place and snap your neck.
I'm not saying that I don't like it. It's just there's zero
it's slow.
I don't even know if slow is the right word. It's just
that's what
heavy.
It was for me.
It's heavy all the way through, and it's just that's hard for me.
I remember you saying that. Yeah, I like gory and gruesome things, so it was beautiful for me.
So now that Jeremiah is back, it's 12:40. Oh, what?
I'm sorry. Have you watched Code Geass?
I don't know what that is.
Code Geass. Okay, watch that.
Are you about to end it? Now that he's back, it's time to wrap it up.
Yeah.
So
I was getting to the end. I was getting ready.
Do you have a notepad?
Up, yeah.
Whip, do you have a notepad?
And what's it called?
Code Geass. You gotta watch it.
GEAS.
Is it on Crunchyroll?
Possibly.
It might
I don't know.
Funimation did have it at one point.
There's two seasons.
It's another really heavy anime.
What's it called?
Casey, it's a very whimsical anime. You'll love it.
What's it called?
Oh yes, Code Geass.
Oh yeah,
it's pretty good.
Yeah, it's a good Christian anime.
Oh yeah, it's exactly like Bo Fury.
Like, you ever watch VeggieTales? It's like that.
Okay.
That
Right.
wholesome.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I would totally want to watch VeggieTales with the storyline of Code Geass.
That would be hilarious. Larry Boy, just like welded, you know. Vegetables,
Junior,
who
literally,
wanted
the
stew.
episode Junior dies. Oh my god. I mean, no one dies. It's a good.
Okay, so let's go ahead. So yeah, Jeremiah, yeah, just as you dropped out, I was actually looking for a good point to kind of end it because it's 12:40, pushing 12:45 here where I'm
That's
at.
fair.
So so a couple of things before I let Dude Let's Chat sort of wrap it up, because I do want to say that I came up with this idea today, and coming this fall I plan on doing a special Work in Progress After Dark podcast every week, and it's going to usually be a shorter episode, and so that way I'm not doing a real episode of this every week. Is I'm going to do a My Hero Academia season 6 recap episode every week, so because I'm super stoked for season 6 of My Hero Academia, and I don't want to talk about it on every main podcast. I'm going to do its own individual podcast, so I'm just shouting it out there. Whoever wants to be a part of it, I'm happy to do it.
I will definitely be there. Like,
All right.
There.
So you saying you hyped all this up just to say you don't have an OnlyFans?
I mean, yeah, if you come this far without an OnlyFans, I've got two. Like, one's OnlyFans and one's BonelyFans, focusing solely on dogs. So,
but I am so hyped for My Hero Academia season 6. I'm scared that I'm going to be talking about it all the time on the main podcast, that I got to do an individual shorter podcast just to talk about it. So that's what I'm going to do. I came up with that idea today, so keep an eye out for that. All right. The folks from Dude Let's Chat. First of all, they are linked in the description of this video, so please check them out. Anyways, whoever wants to take it from there, please tell us what you guys do, who you're about, and where they can find you.
You got a juicy.
well, thank you, Brent, and thank you for having us. We're Dude Let's Chat. Guys who like to talk movies, games, and all things in between. You can catch us on Thursday nights at 9:30 p.m. Central on YouTube, streaming, usually talking about some type of topic that could be nerdy, wordy, or otherwise just interesting to us. You can catch us on YouTube at Dude Let's Chat. You can catch us on Instagram at Dude Let's Chat. You can catch us on TikTok at Dude Let's Chat for little snippets and videos of our cast and different other things that Jacob might put up. And I believe our Twitter is also active, because that's when you can see Isaac. When he likes to stream, he'll usually stream whatever he's feeling at the time. Is there a set schedule for that, Isaac? Nope. He's too cool for school kids. So, but thank you very much. Like I said, catch that Dude Let's Chat, and yeah, hope to see you there.
Yeah. Thank you guys for coming by. I really appreciate it. This was fun. I'm glad that honestly, it was really nice to start with video games. I haven't done a video game conversation in a really long time, so it was nice to talk video games for a little while.
You know, it's nice of you to join my podcast. I appreciate it. You should start one day, though. You and Casey, I think you guys can make your own podcast and get pretty big.
I'm feeling it. You know,
someday we might just do that. Someday.
All right, everyone. Thanks for tuning in, and we will see you all on the next one.
Be happy humans.
Hell yeah.
Or not. We don't discriminate.